Most people are out there telling you that you need to build your brand in public. But the thing is, so many people are doing this right now, and they've been doing this for a significant amount of time, and it's keeping them broke. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that is in this video today, because I want you guys to start winning with your personal brands. You see, it's not that difficult to create content that attracts clients to you if you build your brand and you create content in the right way. The wrong way of doing it is by building in public. Because when you're building in public, you're actually doing it to fuel your ego. You're doing it to get attention, likes, and engagement, rather than to actually create a profit, create cash flow, get customers, clients. And that's what we're about here in this channel. So if you're new here, my name is Jordan. This channel is all about achieving freedom. And today I want to talk to you about why you shouldn't build in public and what you should be doing instead. Now, I made this mistake when I first got started. When I first started creating content, I was building in public and I was creating videos about the skills that I had and about the knowledge that I had accumulated throughout my experience. And by creating video content on my skills and my knowledge, I was then associating it to the reason why I was building the company that I was, which was at the time a Facebook ads agency. But the problem I experienced when doing this was that I was creating content that demonstrated that I was successful in what I was doing. And I was trying to show people that I was capable of building a business and that I was capable of getting people to pay me thousands of dollars for my services. And I would use this as fuel for my content. I would put that out there on the internet, hoping that other people would see it and then approach me, because it was showing proof that I was successful, that I was attracting clients, and that I knew what I was doing. But the thing is, I was so wrong at the time. And I only know this in hindsight, looking back at it. And in fact, I look back at some of the things that I used to do and I think it's so cringy, because that's not the way to build your brand. Building your brand in public is only beneficial if you're aiming to attract other creators who want to do the same thing as you. If you're trying to build your brand in public to create interest in your products and services so that clients and customers are attracted to you, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to spend a lot of time creating that content and not getting the results you want. You'll be getting lots of likes and engagement probably. Maybe a lot of people will be following you, but they're not going to be buying anything. And you want people to buy stuff, guys. You don't want to be that influencer who had 1 million followers who couldn't sell more than 20 t-shirts. Imagine having 1 million followers and not being able to sell more than 20 t-shirts. It's ridiculous. And the reason for that is because people follow you for certain reasons, but people will buy from you for different reasons. So what can you do instead? From my experience, the best thing that you can possibly do when building your brand is to document your journey instead of building in public. So this means that you're actually sharing specific pieces of value that you have been able to learn from your experience. So all your challenges that you've been able to overcome, any problems that you've experienced in building your business or going down that journey, because not everyone is building a business. Some people are going down a career path and want to build a brand around that. Whatever it is that you want to do, you should document your process and what you're doing. Lots of people go down different paths to get to the same destination, and your path is unique. So that's what you want to do instead of building in public. This way it's not ego focused, it's more value driven, because you're actually sharing more vulnerable pieces of your life with people. You're explaining why you're making the decisions that you are making and the problems you've experienced, or even the success that you've managed to get out of those decisions. Because there'll be other people that will want to follow in your path. This way, you're not just going to be attracting people who are watching your journey based on the money you're making or the success that you have, which is purely ego driven. And instead, you're going to be attracting people who actually want to do what you do and respect what you're doing, and in some ways would become fans, which means that you can then sell something to those people. Instead of just having people following you, watching the journey, you have people actively engaging with you and going down the same path as you. So they will pay you for information. This means no matter what kind of business you have, or even if you are just career driven and you want to have, a really exceptional career, you can always monetize your brand in a way that will mean you will never be poor. And this is what some of the big reality TV stars have done in the past. Now, I'm not telling you to be a reality TV star or a big influencer, but there's a major difference between people who are building in public, just showing all the wins and just kind of showing off, than people who are documenting their journey and sharing as much as they possibly can for people to learn from them. Because when you build in public, let's say, for example, you're building a software company, there's certain pieces of information you're simply not going to share because other people can copy you. So you're going to withhold that information or gatekeep that information, which means that your followers, your subscribers, the people who love you, aren't going to be able to access that information to be able to follow in your footsteps. So you're not really helping them in many ways. You're simply building your brand for yourself so people know who you are and that you're associated to that business, that software company, but you're not necessarily helping them get to where you are. Whereas if you document what you're doing, it's much more unique because you are going to essentially be creating a hero's journey. So you're going to be showing people where you started and people can follow your journey. Like they can literally go back in time years to see where you were at and what you were thinking right up until now. So if you look at someone like Iman Gadzi, for example, he's documented his whole life from the time he was about 15 or 16 years old. And now the guy is a multi-millionaire, hundreds of millions of dollars. So if you wanted to go back and study him to see the decisions he was making or how he managed to actually achieve that, you can do that. You can go onto his channel and you can go and see all of his old videos and you'll actually see that he's a real person with real ideas, real thoughts, real problems and challenges that he's had to overcome to get to where he is today. And some of those problems that he experienced back then, you might be experiencing now. So it's going to help you achieve your goals to get to where you want to go. This is why you should document your journey instead of just building in public. It allows people to see you for who you are, that you're a real person, and you can take them along that hero's journey, which is ultimately how you're going to create raving fans and sell them pretty much anything you want. And because you can do that, it means if something goes wrong, let's say, for example, the industry you're in, it just collapses, and all of a sudden you need to create a new business or to sell something new, you'll be able to do that. You'll be safe and secure and stable. And you can use that income to then invest in other projects, frontier markets, property, stocks, whatever it is that you're looking to do. You'll actually have cash flow forever because you have a brand that people don't just check in for to find information about specific skill. They check in with you because they actually want to be part of your journey. And that's why it's a much stronger brand than just building in public. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions on that. As always, happy to answer them, and I'll see you in the next one.